In the cold September skies over Ukraine, a shadow moves silently. It isn't a sleek dogfighter, nor is it a lumbering heavy bomber. It is something in between, a hybrid predator, part fighter jet, part strike bomber, and the backbone of Russia's war effort. This is the Su-34 fullback, a machine designed in the fires of the Cold War, but reborn in Ukraine as the centerpiece of Russian aerospace power. And just this week, on September 15th, Military Watch magazine confirmed that Russia has received yet another new batch of upgraded Su-34M strike fighters, even as the war grinds into its fourth year. The question is, why is Russia betting so heavily on this aircraft? Why the Su-34? Why not traditional fighters like the Su-30 or Su-35? Why it is so important? The answer lies in its dual role. A warplane that can hunt the hunter and still deliver devastation like a bomber. The report quoted Rostec, Russia's defense conglomerate. The Su-34 has proven to be a reliable and effective platform. Its characteristics have been confirmed repeatedly in real combat situations. This frontline bomber is capable of striking ground, naval, and air targets, operating under difficult countermeasures. That statement sums up the essence of this warplane. It is multi-role, survivable, and above all, trusted in real combat. The Su-34's story begins in the 1980s. The Soviet Air Force needed a long-range strike fighter to replace the aging Su-24M Fencer, and potentially fill the roles of both the Su-25 close air support jet and even supplement the Tu-22M3 strategic bomber. Instead of building something completely new, they looked at their best air superiority fighter, the Su-27 flanker. The Su-34 is a direct derivative of the Su-27, but heavily modified. The Su-34 is 50% heavier, a new armored cockpit with side-by-side seating for 2 pilots, reinforced airframe for extreme survivability, extended fuselage and massive fuel tanks, giving it the longest combat radius of any fighter in the world, more than double that of NATO jets like the F-35 or F-16. By the early 2000s, the Su-34 entered full service. By 2020, Russia began fielding the Su-34M with enhanced avionics, reconnaissance pods, and superior air-to-air capability. Russia could have leaned on its Su-30s, Su-35s, or MiG-31s. But those are primarily fighters, designed for air superiority, not deep strike operations. The war in Ukraine has been defined by long-range standoff strikes, precision bombing, and suppression of Ukrainian defenses. Here the Su-34 shines. It carries 8 tons of weapons, including Kh-59 cruise missiles, KAB-500 precision bombs, and even Kh-31 anti-ship missiles. It still has teeth in air combat, equipped with R-77 beyond visual range missiles and R-73 dogfighting missiles. Its survivability, armored cockpit, electronic countermeasures, and low-level penetration ability make it one of the hardest aircraft to shoot down. In essence, the Su-34 can play both roles, a fighter when needed and a bomber when demanded. This dual identity is why Moscow is producing it at higher rates than any other jet today. From the very first days of the war in February 2022, the Su-34 has been the workhorse of Russia's bombing campaign. March 2022, Su-34s carried out mass strikes on Ukrainian fuel depots and logistics hubs around Kharkiv and Chernihiv, crippling resupply lines. April 8, 2022, Russian Su-34s used Kh-555 cruise missiles in a coordinated strike on railway infrastructure near Dnipro, disrupting troop movements. October 10, 2022, the revenge strikes after the Crimean bridge attack. Su-34s were a key component in launching wave after wave of cruise missile and glide bomb attacks against Kiev's power grid, plunging millions into darkness. May 2023, In Bakhmut, Su-34s unleashed precision-guided FAB glide bombs, leveling fortified Ukrainian positions that infantry assaults had failed to break. July 2023. In Zaporizhzhia, Su-34s used Kh-29 missiles to destroy a Ukrainian ammunition depot. Secondary explosions were so massive they were recorded by satellites. Each time, the Su-34 wasn't just a bomber, it was a strategic scalpel, hitting targets that shifted the course of battles. One of the most feared weapons in the Su-34's arsenal today is the UPAB-1500B glide bomb, a 1,500 kilograms precision bomb with a standoff range of 40 to 50 kilometers, and UPAB-3000 glide bomb, a 3,000 kilograms precision guided bomb with a standoff range of 90 kilometers. Ukrainian trenches and bunkers, once thought safe behind the front line, are now being reduced to rubble with pinpoint accuracy. By late 2023, Ukraine's own generals admitted that Russian glide bomb strikes, mostly from Su-34s, were one of the most destructive threats, even harder to counter than drones. For Ukraine, the Su-34 represents a nightmare. It extends Russia's reach deep behind Ukrainian lines, and its glide bombs devastate fortifications that would otherwise take weeks to reduce. Ukrainian air defenses, especially short on long-range interceptors, struggle to stop them. For Russia, the Su-34 has become the symbol of resilience. Despite losing dozens in combat, Moscow is still replacing and expanding the fleet. Its ability to serve as both a bomber and a fighter means fewer aircraft types are needed, reducing logistical strain in wartime. For NATO, the Su-34 is a warning. Western planners used to seeing multi-role fighters like the F-16 now face a jet that is essentially a multi-role bomber-fighter hybrid with far greater range and payload. If Russia can sustain Su-34 production and deployment, it forces NATO to rethink how its own forces would counter such long-range, survivable strike assets in a direct confrontation. The Su-34 began as a Soviet experiment, a flanker redesigned to carry bombs. But in Ukraine, it has become the spearhead of Russia's air war, terrifying in its reach, resilience, and sheer destructive power. Whether it is delivering precision glide bombs, launching cruise missiles, or standing its ground in air-to-air combat, the Su-34 has proven why Moscow sees it not just as another aircraft, but as the workhorse of the Russian Air Force. But here's the real question. As Russia doubles down on Su-34 production, can Ukraine and NATO find an answer to this hybrid predator of the skies? Let me know what you think in the comments, and thanks for watching.